correctly with the correct amount.
There's no place I go when I'm tired of the noise. It's a place I run to in my mind. In a world of uncertainty controls my apathy. It's a place I run to in my mind. What you gonna do when the wheel stops spinning round today? What you gonna do when the wheel stops turning round today? Dive into me, dive into me, dive into my religion. Hold on to me, lean into me, dive into my religion.
That beautiful song was Dive Into Me off of Stories from a Blue Room by Pamela Moore. The journey of Stories from a Blue Room lyrics is an inspiration to those who have gone through some significant challenges and changes in life. They are songs that one will always remember as they reflect on issues we all go through. They touch our hearts in many ways, which is why owning this album is a must-have. I'm hoping to see this album come available on vinyl someday. You can order Stories from a Blue Room by logging on to myspace.com/Pamela Moore or www.pamelamore.net. Check out Cross My Heart video. Pamela's poise, beauty, grace, and expression can be seen and felt in this emotional video. She is a natural actress. Shame on Hollywood for not noticing her wonderful talent. I hope she can play a leading role in a movie someday. She will be collaborating with Queensryche in Philly at the Theater of Living Arts on October 22nd in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so don't miss the show. Pamela is actively writing another album with a more industrial metal twist, filled powerful with intense lyrics. We look forward to her new album when it comes available. Hi, DJ Tina here, host of HMTV Canada E-Zine. Please welcome a very honored guest, Pamela Moore. Hi Pamela, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's great to talk to you.
So I'm curious, how did your appearance turn out at the Primal Fear on the Brave World's North American tour? Did you receive a great turnout of fans attending?
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. Primal Fear's fans are they're so eager, and I know that especially in the States, they don't get to see Primal Fear very much, because they're from Europe. So I have to say, it was just every single show that we did was just, their arms were open wide, they were headbanging. It was just the best experience I've had, and it was too short. I'm hoping that they'll be able to come back out here soon, maybe next year, and if they do, hopefully I can, meet up with them again. They're just a bunch of wonderful guys, and I can't say enough about the fans. They were just crazy. They were awesome.
Are you still collaborating with Queensryche as Sister Mary for live performances or any upcoming albums?
I have been told that they're going to do a reprise of Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2, I believe. I think that's sometime next year. I was supposed to work on their newest CD, which didn't come about, and that's fine because I've been so busy on my own this year. But, they're family. I've known them over 20 years now, and I know that if there is an opening for me that I will be asked to work with them, and vice versa. I'm working on my own solo project, and I do have, some of the guys have offered to be a part of that. So it's always going to be an ongoing situation with me, whether it's with Queensryche or whether it's Pamela Moore or whether it's just a solo type of project.
Wow. What other musicians have you collaborated with for music projects to date?
Well, geez. It's early in the morning for me, but as far as collaboration, I worked with Jeff Loomis. My most recent record, which is about 3 years old now, it was released 2006, is Stories from a Blue Room, and I co-wrote most of the material with a friend of mine. His name is Benjamin Anderson, and he used to be in Rorschach Test. He's with a band now called Missionary Position, and he wrote most of the music, and we collaborated on the songs, but we also had Jeff Loomis come in. He played on all of the rhythm and the lead tracks. I worked with Michael Wilton. I worked with Terry Nunn, who is the singer for Berlin, but she also happens to be my cousin. So she also sang with me on that project. I also just did some releases with some other records just recently. When I was in Atlanta, I finished doing a guest appearance with Halcyon Way. I worked with Eden's Curse. I just many musicians. I could go on and on and on.
Wow.
It's been a blessed career. I just have to say that. I've worked with Brian Johnson from AC/DC. I did backup stuff for Paul Rogers for a short time. So I could continue, but then you would be over your limit as far as what's going on.
Okay.
And what's really cool, too, is that Ralph Sheepers and I have also recorded together. We were hired singers for a project called Solna, and it looks like he'll probably, if things work out right, he'll probably do some work with me on my new record.
I'm curious at this point, have you appeared as an actress in any other films or music projects?
No, I haven't. I used to do theater when I was really young. My mom introduced me to theater, and I used to do that a lot, but I've been on different videos with other people, with other projects, but I haven't done any film per se, as far as something that's been released or anything that's been big. It's mostly been the Queensrÿche thing because they've been so busy with their projects for up until this last year. So hopefully I get to do more of that. I really enjoy it.
Have you tried breaking into an actress or into that career field?
Not really, because I've been so busy. People have, which I've been blessed, but people have been asking me to work on different projects, and so it just kind of, the flow of things has just been kind of with the music.
Okay.
I was asked to do a cameo for a film that's coming out called Jezebel, but that because of there was a conflict in schedules because I was on the other side of the world when they were asking for me to do the filming with them. But a song that I sang on for Eden's Curse was picked up as part of the soundtrack, and he asked me if I'd be interested in doing that, but unfortunately it didn't come about. I think the film is going to be released maybe in March of next year. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, I didn't make it to that part. We'll see what happens. You know, the flow of things just kind of keep going towards the music direction, but you never know what happens in life. It's really
that's so true. You never know what happens down the road. Can you tell us about your new CD, Halcyon Way, that you're recording currently, or give us a hint of what's in store for the fans?
Well, I don't think I can tell you the I think it's a bit of a kind of a conceptual album, and I don't think I should be telling you what it is about.
Okay.
They'll have me doing an awful lot of backup stuff on it, and then a couple of regular, duet types of things, and they also have a new singer that's coming up too. So I was just kind of like in there for a day recording, got everything done, and we'll have to see what happens. I think they're going to try to have it released probably in the spring of next year as well. I'm really excited about them because this is a real big venture for them as far as stretching out and having this new singer come into the picture, and he's a great singer. He's a wonderful guy. So I'm excited for them. I wasn't really a part of the writing of the material. As in so many situations, I'll be called to ask to be maybe a guest singer on their material, which I love doing anyway. So as far as the writing part of it, I can't speak for them, but I can tell you that I really enjoyed the process, and I'm really wishing them all the best as far as their release goes.
Okay. Can you tell us the highlights of your recent release, Solna?
Solna, yes, it's Solna. That also is another project where I was a hired guest singer on it. It was released earlier this year. The songs were written by a couple of gentlemen out of Sweden. I never had a chance to really meet any of the people because the album was pretty much recorded in different parts of the world and in different states. So I would recorded all my parts and all my parts of the music parts in Seattle, Washington, at a studio out here. I wasn't the person that wrote any of the material. I, was mostly just the hired singer of it. But the songs are real kind of a throwback 80s metal type band. And most of the songs, unfortunately, they weren't really written. There was 3 songs in particular that were written with me in mind, and then I think they lost their singer, so Zane Peterson had asked if I would be interested in maybe doing some more of the songs. So we really had a big process of changing what was supposed to be a male voice into a female voice, so that was a bit of a curve that we had to do, but I think it turned out really well. And I know a lot of people who really enjoy the metal type of music like that have enjoyed the music as well, too. So I'm just blessed that I have a chance to do all these things, and as long as people keep asking me to do them, I'm going to keep doing it.
There was another album that came out. It's called You're Americ.
Yes, and that's the same project. Zane Peterson released an EP which had all of the ballads on the album, and that was Sent from Heaven. Mm-hmm. And then You're Americ was the full-length CD, and Ralph Sheepers and I have a duet on there that we sang, and then he also sang on another song as well, and then the rest of them are all songs that I did. So it's pretty much the same CD that we're talking about.
Okay. Will there be any music videos coming out from Solna or You're Americ?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't been approached with it, so I don't. I know that he had talked about it earlier on last year when we were working on everything, but I don't think that there will be. If there is, I probably won't know that until later on.
Okay. There is one album that is rather special, and I wanted to talk about that today, that embarks on a journey of life spent in and out of the music business and provides a unique landscape of emotions. Can you tell us about your album, Stories from a Blue Room, and how it reflects the soundtrack of your life in this journey?
Well, it was written during a time where I was going through some major changes, major growth changes in my life. I was going through a divorce, and there was a lot of things that I kind of had to reflect upon and learn with myself, and that is kind of where those songs developed and how they developed. They reflect personal experiences that I go through and personal experiences of good friends that I've gone through, and that's what I love about the album. It's just a labor of love. The album is so, perfectly, sonically, it's a beautiful record. I have Neil Kernan, who is a major producer, who's worked with Queensryche and all these other bands, Nevermore, different people. He's such a great producer and engineer, and it's a flawless-sounding record as far as that's concerned. And that's what really made the songs really come to life, too. It's very personal. It's mid-tempo type of album, but with Jeff Loomis on it, he just explodes on a lot of the sounds. That's great. But it really was a bit of a journey. I think is a bit of a way to console myself, if that's the right word, kind of going through this learning curve that I needed to go through. And it's really, it was voted #1 album in the Midwest or in Chicago. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's not on a major label, so it surprised me. And there's been a lot of people who have really embraced it. And the new record that I have that's coming up, it should be out in spring of next year. The new record is really going to be great. It's got the emotional feeling of Blue Room, but it's going to be a lot more aggressive. It's almost like metal meets industrial. And I'm really excited. We're almost halfway through writing the record, and so I'm really excited about getting that out next year, too.
So when you say that it was a learning curve, is this what you mean when you say the album is an open window to things you've questioned with your life and dealt with over the years?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's I guess when I say learning curve, I mean it's a learning curve within my soul and my spirit, and what things that I've had to go through during that time period, and to be where I am now. So that's basically what I mean about that.
Will you be writing a book on this?
I have some different little excerpts of things that I've been writing about, and definitely people have been asking me about this, and so I've been putting together different little stories that I remember, things that happened on the road, things that have happened to me personally, and we're collecting them and kind of looking at maybe doing something like that and or doing some kind of audio type book, which would be really interesting.
Awesome.
But that's kind of in the development stage right now, and I still have to have more stories written for it, and it's just been such a busy year for me. I haven't had any time to do anything else.
Out of all your music projects, is Stories from a Blue Room the most cherished album?
All of the projects that I've done, there's always a different meaning behind them, and certainly because Stories of the Blue Room was produced and written personally by me, and the way that the outcome came from it, it definitely has a sentimental value to me, and it will always be my favorite, you know. But I can't look away from the fact that I was chosen to sing, you know, the part of Sister Mary on Operation Mindcrime, and that album has become a legendary album. And for me to say that that wasn't a big impact to me would be, you know, an untruth. So there's different records and different projects that I work on, and especially ones that I write with, that have specific meaning to me. And I would say those two records are ones that have been very pivotal for me. And so I can't ignore that other album that kind of put me in a situation where I've been able to create, you know, a little bit of a career out of it. And so I would say, yes, Stories from the Blue Room is mostly sentimental to me, and it means a lot to me that I have this record and I was able to do it. But I also can't ignore Operation Mindcrime.
But Stories from the Blue Room took a long time. Can I say part of the challenges were the emotional journey in writing the songs for this album and laying down the song tracks?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, certainly. And it took a while to write, too. There was a lot of, you know, different commitments I had with Queensrÿche, so I had to stop writing or recording for, you know, a good 3 months, and then I had to come back into it. So there was issues like that that were going on, too, as well. But, you know, when you're going through emotional changes and you're writing at the same time, that's almost a perfect time to be writing because your heart is on your sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so that's why a lot of those songs that are on there mean so much to me, and hopefully other people can attach to the song as well and make it their own. And that's what I think a lot of people have done in a lot of the different songs that they've told me that they love or that they really find emotional attachment to. That's, as an artist, that's what you really hope to achieve, as well as just telling people, here I am, this is my feeling. If other people can get something out of it, then you've got yourself a hit song.
Yeah, that's right. Because, like, most songs you hear on the radio, some of them are gibberish, but there's only that one certain song that stands out that becomes a part of you, and you can relate to it. So you'll always remember that song. When it comes to songwriting, where do you draw inspiration or motivation for coming up with these deep-filled emotional lyrics?
You know, I guess the motivation is just your feeling or your opinions about certain things, I would imagine, if I'm answering this correctly. Mm-hmm. I've never really been, I wish I was more so, but I've never really been a person who can just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write a song right now. I have to have some motivation in my heart to write something. I have to, you know, it has to be either an opinion or a feeling or, you know, an emotion. It has to be something that
you feel deeply about?
I'm sorry?
Is this something that usually you feel deeply about?
Yes. It has to be something that I feel attached to, or it has to be something that I feel like someone needs to know about or I need to express. So, you know, I'm not the type of person that can just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write a song about this and then get it done. It's a little bit more of a personal process, and sometimes that slows me down. Sometimes that you know, excites me and keeps me going, too. It just all depends, really, for me.
And do you have anybody helping with the mixing and mastering of all your albums?
The mixing and mastering?
Yeah.
We are discussing that right now. Stories from the Blue Room, Neil Kernan mixed, and then we sent it to a mastering company. I don't remember at this point in time. I don't remember who it was because Neil was in charge of it. On the new record, we'll see where we're at when we've got everything done. Hopefully, maybe we'll probably do the same where we'll hire somebody to mix. It could possibly be Neil Kernan. If not, we definitely will take it to a mastering company and have them take care of it, because that's such an ideal, that's such an important part, is to make sure your record sounds good and it's not compressed to heck, and Now it has
Right.
to sound right. So,
Okay.
so we definitely are going to put that in the hands of the experts for sure.
And that new album that you're talking about, do you have a name for it?
I've got a working name right now called The Sky is Falling. It's about 2012. So I still have to finish that song, but as far as that's just the working title, and we'll see, maybe it might change into something else, but it kind of seems appropriate right now with the way that the world is at the moment.
The world's living in fear as far as I'm concerned. Do you feel the same way?
The sky is falling. Anyway, that's my working title at the moment, and like I said, I'm really excited about it. I'm working with a gentleman named Michael Potts,
Mm-hmm.
who has been writing most of the music material. Jeff Loomis also has been incorporating some riff ideas and stuff for me. But he's been so busy working with Nevermore, and he's working on some clinic stuff. He's just a crazy busy guy right now. But we're good friends, and I'm hoping that he can be a part of the project as much as possible. And so we'll see, we'll see what happens. But I'm really hoping, we were supposed to have it be a fall release, but it's fall already. So I think probably it'll be springtime, and that'll be fine with me. I just want to get this done because it's just exciting. It's got some really heavy, aggressive stuff to it, but it's also really open, too. So I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. I know I am so far, and it's not even finished yet.
So your new album, are a lot of the themes going to be based on religion or fear or the way the state of the world is right now socially?
It's a work in progress still.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I came up with that title, working title right now, is because of this whole 2012 issue, on whether we're going to just the last days of our lives, or whether it's just going to be a major change, I don't know, but it's something for people to look at and to really kind of reflect on themselves. I mean, right now, all of us need to kind of pull together, we need to stop being so complacent. We need to pull together as a universe and start doing something, to help everybody out, because it's just too much a me thing, and all of a sudden we're in this predicament,
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel passionate about that. Some of the other songs are different, but I don't want to give things away, because a couple of movies have kind of sparked my interest, and then of course my heart is always going to express some kind of song that's going to hopefully be personal to other people as well, so hopefully I answered your question on that. I just don't want to give too much of it away.
Now, have you had a lot of fans or musicians comment on your songs and say that they've experienced that in their life, or they can relate to what you're singing?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you know what? That's probably the biggest gift you can get as a singer-songwriter and performer, is when someone comes up and they have tears in their eyes and you say, this song saved my life, or this song just speaks volumes about how I feel right now. And, as an artist, you're out there creating emotions. You're out there trying to spark something, from somebody else. I mean, it's pretty much of a passion in my heart to want to be able to speak and sing things that mean a lot to me. But the other part is, you've got to be able to connect with your fans and your friends and your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a career. You're just pretty much doing it for yourself, and that's not wrong. But if you want to try to sell records, and you want to, be in the swing of things, you've got to be able to do things that other people are going to relate to. So when people come up to me and they do things like that, it's just so humbling, and it's such a great accomplishment, maybe even more so than winning an award, is knowing that you're connecting with that person.
Will you be producing any more videos like Cross My Heart from the song tracks off Stories from a Blue Room?
Probably not off of Stories from a Blue Room. I think we're going to be really concentrating on the new record to get it promoted. So we'll see what happens as far as how all of the songs come together for the new record, and then we'll go from there. But it'll probably be a situation where when we do release a new video, it'll come off of the new product instead of the older product. And we'll see what happens from there. If there is something that is, like, say, for example, if I'm doing a live show and we record it and something off of Stories from the Blue Room, then that is probably only going to be the video that you see from Stories from Blue Room. But so the new one, we're going to be, looking at a brand new video to do to help promote the record. We'll be out touring, doing short tours in Europe, hopefully, and then in the States. But as far as doing a whole blown-out video, I think that we'll concentrate more on the new record and not on the older one.
Can you tell us about the private singing lessons you have to offer for all ages, including, do they include children, or do you teach this online, or do you have a studio? Where are the lessons being offered?
Well, the lessons in person are being offered in Seattle, Washington, in your area of Seattle, Washington, and I have a few students that come to me to see me at two locations. One's in Federal Way, which nobody knows about this if they don't live in Washington State. So there's two locations where I see students. I also will be doing online lessons, hopefully by the end of this month, through a company or through an online site called the Rockstar Academy.
Awesome.
And it's a brand new website. You can go online, pick which teacher you'd like to work with, and you do these online lessons, which I find fascinating because there's so many people that have written to me saying, I don't live in Seattle, Washington, I live in, Tennessee, or I live in Florida, how can I do this? And so there is a way to be able to do this, and this is cyberspace, and it's online. So we're going to start working on that, hopefully by the end of the month, the first of the month, and that'll open up a lot more opportunities for me to be able to meet other people and discuss their, singing issues or whatever they want to do. That'll be a nice situation for me because it'll kind of keep my arms wide open to, more of a universal type of situation. But right now, if you want to personally have a private lesson with me, you have to be in the city of Seattle.
Okay. Are lessons reasonable?
Lessons are the prices?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're very reasonable. Very reasonable, but you have to call me and let me know. It's under $100.
Okay, and that includes all ages?
Yeah, it does.
Awesome.
The youngest student I have is like 7 years old, and the oldest I have is 70. So
wow.
Anywhere in between is fine with me. There's just different issues. I also do performance consulting, and I have a young lady who is a Chinese pop star, and she just got back from China, and we work with her on her presentation on stage, and as well as working with her voice and helping her voice develop, because she's still 12 years old, so her voice hasn't really developed yet. But what's so wonderful about this is that I'm able to give what I've learned to other people, and it's worked out really great so far, and it's a good process for me. It gives me something to do in between my touring commitments and my recording. It's a great process for other people because they know where I've been and they know what I've done, so they trust that they're going to learn something, and that's the whole battle right there, is getting somebody that you can trust as far as showing them something.
What advice do you have for young musicians breaking into this crazy music industry today? My advice would be, love what you do. Do it because you have passion for it. Do it not just because you think you're going to make $1 million, because you might not. Love the journey that you're on, and don't think that the destination or the goal is going to be it all. You have to enjoy the journey, and surround yourself with people who you trust. Surround yourself with people who aren't going to just say, "Oh, think you're great." They're going to be honest with you, and just do it because you love it, and not because you think it's going to get you something that you want. It's a whole process, and we have to love the things that we do, or we should just get out of it and find something else that's going to make our souls happy, and I think that's the most important thing. Have you had any positive inspiration to stay in this field, or has there been any challenges along the road with all your experience or years of experience being in this field?
There's massive challenges. In the past, when I was just growing up and learning about all this stuff, being signed to record labels, the record labels falling apart, being in a difficult situation with family where you're not around them, you're always on the road, that's difficult. Thinking that something's going to happen and then it doesn't, all those things, those assumptions and stuff can always set you up for sadness sometimes, But like I said before, it's something that you've got to love. It's something that you've got to have passion for. And if that's true, and you're being true to yourself, then really wonderful things are going to happen to you. Really good thing. Whatever that's going to be, each person is different, you know. But there's also been wonderful successes for me. Being at the right place at the right time, working with Queensryche, them seeking out, finding me, and doing this record. I had no idea it would be such a legendary album, and that I would be a part of that forever. You know, that's been a blessing. And there's a lot of other things too that are a part of what I do that mean so much to me. It's just difficult for me to ever want to let go of it. And I don't know where my journey will be, you know, in next month or in 10 years from now. But I know as long as I'm happy with what I'm doing, then that's the only thing that I should look at, you know.
For younger bands, it's best if you can collaborate with other musicians or bands to really push for that and to be prepared for obstacles like setbacks in this industry. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that helps you become stronger.
And again?
I think that helps them become stronger.
Well, yeah.
To be prepared for stuff and
younger bands
to
that
know.
are out, they just need to keep exploring what they want to do.
Yeah, see, a lot of them.
Keep working at what they want to do.
Yeah.
And if it's collaborating with different people, that's great. If it's working with established musicians and they have that chance to do it, that's great too.
Yeah, a lot of the younger ones that are fresh out of high school, for example, a lot of them really don't know what they're faced with when they get into the music industry or start up their bands, and it's just a lot of that's unknown. And I think if they knew about all these little setbacks and obstacles, it helps them be prepared for that rather than be let down and that sort of thing while they're finding their niche and getting stronger.
Well, that's true. And you know what? You can't really get somewhere without making mistakes. You have to go out there, take risks, and if you find mistakes, it's going to teach you, you know, what the better path is for you. So each person who goes out there and takes a risk and something bad happens, you need to sit down and assess that and go, okay, this is the reason why that happened, and so this is the direction I'm going to go for this. I mean, it's just all a learning process, and it is in life. I mean, we go out there, we make mistakes in life. We make mistakes about relationships. We make mistakes about, you know, work or whatever it is. It's just more information for you to learn to make the proper decisions later. So all the young people that are starting out, go for it. If it's something you love, go for it. You'll know eventually if it's something you want to stay in it or not. But don't expect that there's not going to be obstacles in the way, because there will be. And there'll be sadness and there'll be happiness, and that's all a part of life, you know. It's just making sure that you're surrounding yourself with really good people and people who, you know, care about you and are going to try the best, you know, to help you with what you're doing. There's so many times when people will latch on to somebody who says, I'm going to get you, make you a big star, and I'm going to have you do this, and it's bullshit. So you never know if those people are telling you the truth or not anyway, but still.
Yeah, I guess.
But into those obstacles, know that when you go in, you know, and just stay true to how you feel about yourself and your music.
Well, one thing for sure, you're an excellent teacher, because I love that advice.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we wrap up our interview, do you have any shout-outs to fans or friends or any upcoming tours you'd like to announce?
I just finished the shows with Primal Fear. I've got a couple of special appearances that I'm doing in Philadelphia. I think it's October 23rd or something, but a lot of the announcements are usually made on my website, which is PamelaMoore.net. I have a MySpace page, which is MySpace/Pamela Moore, and I also have a Facebook, a couple of Facebook pages as well. And usually when there's announcements to be made, I'll usually do it on there as well as doing bulletins. At this point in time, I'm not doing anything specific as far as any other shows the rest of the year. I'm mostly going to be concentrating on trying to get the bulk of my record finished so I can get it ready for release in springtime. But I will be doing some private appearances with some people, and I'll be going back to Chicago to do some more recording. So as far as that's concerned, I don't know. And then I think there's some talk about maybe going out with Primal Fear again, which will be awesome. I just loved going out there with those guys. They're just amazing band, really good energy, really good guys. and I think that's supposed to be in the spring at some point. And there was talk about doing some stuff with Queensryche as well, so I've got a lot on my, on my calendar for next year.
Wow, it sounds
The
like
main
you're
thing
going to
is
be
getting
one
some things done, and if people are interested, I would love to have people contact me through my website. I usually always try to answer back email myself. I do have assistants that help me with different things, but as far as the messages, I do try to get back to them. If I can't, it's because I'm just too busy. But that's so important for me to stay in contact with my fans, and to be able to do that is a blessing. So if people want to write to me, ask me a question, I will be there and answer as effectively as possible.
Thank you, Pamela, for this interview. I would also like to send thanks to Willie Force for introducing our e-zine to Pamela Moore and the opportunity. And Horns High, you rock.
Thank you. Tina, it was great to talk to you. Thank you so much for doing what you do. It's such a big support for us as musicians to have people like you that help set up situations like this for exposure. And I wish you a lot of luck as well.